I was curious. So how did you meet Grandpa
It was a good story.
in the past?
Okay, I'm gonna set you up with this now. Very good.
It's a good thing I wore a turtleneck.
Yeah, it looks great like that.
I had another one on and I took that one off, put this one on. The kids all say, they go shopping with me. Camille the last time said, "Mom, you have plenty of clothes. I'm not going shopping with you." All right.
She just had a birthday, and if I don't get to have a birthday pretty soon, she'll be older than me. She's only 1 year behind me now. Don't cry.
No, I wouldn't cry over that. I got serious things to think about.
In that picture, the name?
Marty's mom is right up there.
Oh, right there.
No, that one. That one, Marty's mom. Her name was Amelia. That's the mom. That's my daughter. But that's Amelie. She's the one that talks a lot. And she's only 2. And this is at the zoo. And Oliver would not sit on the one of these animals with his dad. It had to be Grandpa. Can you imagine that? This was my great-great-grandfather, who was in the Civil War. And he got discharged from the Civil War, so he ended up with a very large farm. And we lived on that farm until his son told my dad and us that we had to move off of his farm, and then my parents bought another farm. But anyway, that's Andrew Ritz, and he built this huge brick house. But that's the way my grandfather would look if he was clean shaved. If he was clean shaved, that's exactly how my grandfather would have looked. But that's my great-grandfather. Anyway, his name was Andrew, and he had one of the hugest farms, but he had to have some smarts, though, to figure out how to get brick so far away to build this huge house. Too bad I don't have the picture right here. It's a 2-story house. The guy from the courthouse figured they came from past New Ulm to St. Peter, or by train or by horse to build that house. But anyway, he had 7 children. He lived in a log cabin, and they lived on the second shelf, the kids, crossways, like this. And then after he built that big brick house, they moved out, and they lived in that. And so when we moved on that farm, we used it for a smokehouse. We'd butcher, hang up the hams, the bacon, and we'd cure them in there. So, but that was Andrew.
Wow.
Can you imagine he walked from Indiana to Minnesota after he
walked?
This is my great-grandfather. He fought in the Civil War. And this is the house he built after he came back from the Civil War. That's only part of it. And it's still standing. People are living in it. I was born in that house. The Gallus family.
You got the audio too?
Yeah.
This is when we came home from Germany. That's how young the kids were. This, you talk about vacations, how we like vacations. It's one of my vacations. There got to be another vacation here, maybe not. As you can tell. Here's another vacation. We were going through the Panama Canal. This is my daughter Camille, and she's the flower girl, and that was the bride. And it looks like Camille's listening. Oh, I better do this right. And I'm gonna. These are our grandchildren. That was taken when we went to Germany. So you can see how young they were. And this is a horse I used to ride. And I have relatives that always ask me, what happened to that horse? Got hit by lightning. It's called Beauty, it was. Couldn't tell you them all. I've only met their family once. Now that seems odd when you think how many years we've been married. And they would talk, and I know some of them went to be nuns, and then they left the order. So.
Oh, you only met the Flashings once?
Yeah, this one was a Newman. She was a Fasching, but he was a Newman. Fasching's a very common name around here, but not Newman. N-A-U-M-A-N-N. Yep.
I think the tree as a trick to this was, I was the boss long enough for her. She was a good worker. I just said, she's a good organizer, let her be the boss. So since we were married, she was the boss, and she did a good job. Until now, she's talking about when there's two guys at the ferry, County Ferry, tried hitting on her. I watched those guys, but they weren't going to take advantage of you.
I could always handle myself. I didn't need anybody.
Well, that's why I didn't tell you, because you would have handled it.
What was it like being a grandparent to 14 grandchildren?
Well, when people ask me that question, I will say I have 14 grandchildren. Oh, they have some type of comment. But I said, they're all different, and I wouldn't trade them for anything.
But whatever we did, we did together, you know. We didn't go on one, the other one change.
Wedding picture, and this is a little church we were married in. Or you want to switch them around, we can.
So you guys started this with your wedding day, and I'm wondering if you could just paint a picture of like what it was like a play-by-play. If I were watching a movie.
Well, it was almost like it was given to us. It was a perfect day. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. It didn't rain. So we went to my aunt's house that was about 2 miles from the church. And she had a big breakfast for all of us, the whole wedding party.
Well, she's. I mean, you mentioned it one time. Sometimes you would get into mischief with her, right?
Yeah, we do some crazy things.
I think your dad wanted you to can the peaches, or is it
plums. And we had hired men on our farm. And so, anyway, my dad left with the car. And this hired man was picking up plums or getting them off the tree. We had an orchard across the road from our house. And it was about this round, and he had it full. So Charlotte and I come down. We got up in the morning, and my dad's gone. Charlotte says, "We are not canning plums. Grab the other handle, and we're feeding them to the pigs." When people hear we fed all these plums to the pigs, they just go, Like, yes. My dad never knew about it. He died, never knew about it. And my two brothers just heard about it this last year. They never knew about it either.
Every day we got a letter. I wrote one and she wrote one, and I think she still hides them somewhere. I don't know what's she's hiding them for, but when I was stationed at Mitchell Air Force Base in New York, we could take a subway for 10 cents Times Square, 10 cents there and 10 cents back. We could see all the movies on Times Square, plays and stuff. And the Dodgers were playing at Ebbets Field for 10 cents there and 10 cents back. We'd see a ball game, and the military got free tickets to go to ball games. We seen the Giants. We could see the Giants for 20 cents, all the Giants. And then was it 13? The Brooklyn Dodgers were there. Yeah, see all that. And then we could take things to Philadelphia on weekends, and not too far away.